Cover story, K-pop. Wins at 2026, Grammy Awards, zooming in on the Golden Trophy. Thoughts on the larger media story, developing alongside the Too Hot to Stop, KPop Demon Hunters anthem. It came true. I'm brought back to Anne Hathaway's Oscar acceptance speech when I think about Golden winning the Grammy Award for Best Song Written for Visual Media. Any Grammy nomination, and any Grammy win, is an honor and major achievement when you're coming in as an underrepresented outsider, operating mostly outside the country of the world's largest music industry, and working across multiple languages, cultures, and backgrounds. Golden is being touted as making history for K-pop, as the first time the music scene has been recognized with a Grammy Award after the likes of BTS earned multiple nods through the years, with Blackpink's Rosé and Hybe's global girl group created in the K-pop style Cat's Eye, earning multiple nominations for 2026. Like all of the artists above, Golden is also a somewhat tricky case when we consider what makes a K-pop song. Many times people opt to call it the K-pop genre, but genre tends to encompass a signature sound, instruments and style, e.g. rock music has guitars, classical music is orchestral. But K-pop at its core is not defined by one sound, but instead by mashing multiple influences and styles into one accessible piece of pop music, with it all coming together to be released in Korea via Korean creatives and teams. A large part of the Golden success stems from its DNA and composition. Teddy, K-pop's legendary producer behind hits for Blackpink, PSY, and G-Dragon, to name a few, was at the helm of much of the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack, bringing along his crew of creatives for songs like Golden. While EJA trained for a decade to become a K-pop star, she ultimately never made a debut and instead pursued her journey through songwriting, penning massive K-pop hits for the likes of Twice, Red Velvet, aespa, and more. Composer and songwriter Mark Sonnenblick, whose work has appeared on Broadway and major movie soundtracks, was also on board. All these parts coming together have the makings of a hit K-pop song for a movie soundtrack. And yet, Golden was released by an animated group in a movie where the voice actors for HUNTR X, Arden Cho, Mei Hong, and Ji-young Yoo, were different than the singing voices, Ije, Audrey Nuna, and Ray Ami. You could see some stumbling as the film and partners like Republic Records tried to figure out which stars would be best to promote the film and song, and I think the right choice was made by pushing EJ, Audrey, and Ray as a trio. But they're ultimately not a group together, and I think all three women have been quite strong in their stance that they stand on their own as soloists as much as they do as a group singing this song. The promotional strategies were notably not classic K-pop, despite the creative points being so. The song being mostly English feels less important as a point in what defines K-pop today too, since there are a few lines in Korean. Overall, Golden has felt like a crossover K-pop song from the get-go in terms of being crafted to specifically reach beyond the traditional audience with its success in doing so, only growing as things really took off with K-pop Demon Hunters. And most media outlets are, rightfully, celebrating Golden as a historic moment for K-pop representation. I can't really argue with the New York Times, but there CNN and the Associated Press are also including other perspectives, with Professor Aram Jong, the assistant professor of Korean studies at Arizona State University and friend to the crossover, deeming the Grammy-nominated songs as deterritorialized hybrid idea of K-pop, which feels apt. I think EJA also brought a beautiful tone when speaking about the song's win backstage in the Grammy Awards press room. It's so incredible to have the song Golden being sung all over the world, singing the Korean lyrics word by word. It means so much. I think this award is about that. Representation. Today's about celebrating culture and music that unites all cultures. The K-pop crossover isn't ending anytime soon, thus the point of this entire newsletter. And this Grammy win might have just unlocked a world where we are seeing more and more projects have a K-pop base, but ultimately begin the journey on a more international plane from the start, rather than watching it happen via a happy accident. Check out the media story for Golden at the Grammys below, with some additional great pieces from NPR's How the West Was Won, K-pop's Great Assimilation Gambit, and notes on K-pop's 2025 ends with K-pop overlooked by success of K-pop. Golden breaks through and makes history for K-pop. The New York Times says Golden victory marks first ever Grammy win for K-pop. KPop Demon Hunters was one of 2025's most powerful pieces of global culture and the most watched film in Netflix's history. And now it has earned a record, K-pop's first ever Grammy Award. New York Times. EJA focuses the win on representation and culture. Growing up, people didn't know where Korea was or what Korea was. EJA, the Golden co-writer and main singer, said backstage in the Grammys press room. But seriously, that's why it's so incredible to have the song Golden being sung all over the world, singing the Korean lyrics word by word. It means so much. I think this award is about that, representation. Today's about celebrating culture and music that unites all cultures. We need that right now, and it's a great honor to have. USA Today. K-pop's elusive super producer Teddy got a shout-out despite not showing. A collective came forward to accept the win, with producer Jonghoon Seo, who goes by the producer name 24, delivering a speech in both English and Korean. At the end of the speech, Jong gave a special shout-out to a major K-pop player, saying, "Although he couldn't be here with us today, I dedicate this honor to the person who went through this whole journey with me, my greatest mentor and my closest friend, the pioneer of K-pop, Teddy." Teddy Park, whose given name is Park Hong-jun, is the K-pop rap star turned prolific music producer who has helped shape and aid South Korean music's global crossover for over 2 decades now. Some of Teddy's most notable work includes songs for Big Bang, G-Dragon, PSY, Sunmi, 2NE1, CL, John Somi, Blackpink, as well as solo singles from members Rosé, Jisoo, Jennie, and Lisa. Forbes. While Teddy was not in attendance and rarely makes public appearances, the K-pop Demon Hunters producers and creatives were in attendance the red carpet, including, from left to right, NHD, Yuhan, and Zaechun, who work as the production trio IDO, 24, Vince, Do Min-suk, and Danny Chung, the singing voice of Baby Seja in KDH. In a statement, producer Zaechun, a.k.a. Jung Gyu Kwak of IDO, added, "The Grammy Awards are essentially the greatest goal a composer can dream of, and it feels as though I have achieved that dream. Beyond simply the success of K-pop, it is an honor and deeply meaningful to have been able to contribute music to a work that introduces K-culture to the world." Then Forbes. South Korea is celebrating and wondering if this will lead to more awards. Golden claimed K-pop's first Grammy Award, a milestone that critics say highlights the genre's global appeal and signals broader acceptance in the American mainstream. The Grammy win for Golden, from the Netflix animated film KPop Demon Hunters, which also contended for Song of the Year, could help strengthen K-pop's U.S. foothold and boost the genre's prospects at future awards. Music critic Lim Hee-yeon said, "The win for Best Song for Visual Media capped a highly visible night for K-pop at the Grammys, an institution where the genre has long been under-celebrated despite its massive international following." ABC News. But some still ask if it's really K-pop. While the win for Golden is historic, K-pop fans questioned if the song really fits the genre. Aram Jong, assistant professor of Korean studies at Arizona State University, told the Associated Press that songs like APT and Cat's Eye's Gabriella, also Grammys nominees, seem less K-pop than other K-pop songs that could have been nominated over the years. She said the nominations strike her more as a deterritorialized hybrid idea of K-pop, rather than a recognition of K-pop. CNN. Several outlets think Golden, and K-pop at large, was snubbed at the Grammys. Golden had to settle for the silver, the smash hit from K-pop. Demon Hunters did not get ignored altogether. It won inevitably for Best Song Written for Visual Media, and with that, it became the first K-pop recording ever to win a Grammy. It fell short for Song of the Year, losing to Billie Eilish, and pop duo Group Performance, to Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande's Big Wicked Song, the other spots where it had a chance. But the real snub was felt back at the nominations level when it didn't pick up a nomination for Record of the Year. APT, by Rosé and Bruno Mars also came up empty, despite multiple nods. It was a huge song, obviously, but not one that was favored in the prognosticating. Rosé was a first-timer, but Mars has a huge history with the Grammys, who may have just felt the need to let the fields lay a little bit fallow between the giganticness of Die with a Smile and his forthcoming album probably being a big force at next year's Grammys. But do Recording Academy voters just still have a thing about honoring K-pop artists, even in collaboration with their A-list favorites? Can't rule it out. Variety. Continuing this thread of musical Eurocentrism is the lack of K-pop appreciation at last night's awards ceremony. Not that this is anything new. While much has been made of K-pop Demon Hunters' Golden becoming the first K-pop win in Grammys history, the fact that this arrived in the Best Song Written for Visual Media category just doesn't do that track. Or indeed, the mass virality of Bruno Mars and Rose's APT justice. Both Golden and APT were much more deserving winners of Best Pop Duo Vocal Performance than Wicked's Defying Gravity. Sue Me, Dazed. The Daily Mail capitalized on the snub, but reporting furious fans cry racism as Bruno Mars' Grammy-winning streak ends amid collab with K-pop star Rosé. Jacques Peterson writes, Mars has won a Grammy at every ceremony he's been nominated in since 2014, winning a total of 16 Grammys throughout his career. The loss sparked backlash among K-pop fans, who accused the Grammys of racism for overlooking Rosé. Daily Mail. What's next? Oscars? Performance? EJA remained tight-lipped on whether she or HUNTR X will be performing at the upcoming Academy Awards, despite the Oscars confirming only KDH and Sinners would have live musical performances. Nothing's official. Access Hollywood.